5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to TrojanVision's The Week That Was, covering the news and events for the week ending Friday, July 2nd, 2021. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. The start of a new edition on campus began last week with the names of organizations being displayed at the site of the future NPHC Plaza, serving as representation for a group of students here at Troy University. Claudia Peppenhorst has the story.
The National Panhellenic Council now has a place on campus to call their own. Banners of each NPHC fraternity and sorority were hung on Wednesday at the site of the future plaza.
Well, today we're initiating the format of hanging our NPHC banners on our proposed spot to have our NPHC Plaza here at Troy University.
The decision was made to build the plaza due to the NPHC organizations not having representation on campus. The plaza will include 9 columns with information about each NPHC fraternity and sorority and will serve as a site for the organizations to host events.
If you migrate through our campus, there's no physical representation of our NPHC group, so this is one of our diversity and equity strategies here at the university to make sure that those individuals or those organizations are represented on our campus.
Come fall semester, construction will start on the new plaza. The addition to campus will allow for representation of all NPHC organizations and a place for them to feel included here at Troy University.
We're getting close to our ultimate goal of raising $160,000. So our focus is to begin to groundbreak at the beginning of the fall semester with a completion date of near the homecoming date, which is November the 13th. So hopefully on that date, we can actually dedicate the plaza to the NPHC groups and allow them to have and enjoy this outdoor representation of those organizations.
Brewster also added that he is excited for the future of the NPHC organizations here at Troy University and looks forward to seeing them use the plaza come fall semester.
I just can't wait to see those organizations utilizing this plaza and celebrating the great legacy of those organizations.
For most students, a summer camp is for taking a break from school and enjoying their vacation. But for a group of students here at Troy University, their summer camp is all about learning a language and its culture. Here's Claudia Peppenhorst.
Another summer camp is in progress here at Troy University, and this one is all about Chinese. Troy Star, a 2-week summer camp here on campus, houses students and teachers so they can be immersed in the Chinese culture while learning the language.
Well, the Troy Star Summer Program is a 2-week summer camp. We have about 24 high school students from surrounding areas and some out of state come to live on the campus for 2 weeks. It's like an immersion program where they basically are immersed in Chinese language and cultural activities that help them learn the language.
While the teachers are attending Troy Star to learn as well, their curriculum is a little different from the students, as they will be learning how to teach language throughout the next 2 weeks.
The teachers are learning sort of more linguistic-based things. They're learning how to teach language in general, not necessarily just the Chinese language, but how to teach human beings how to learn a language, because there's a whole science behind it.
Deal also says that while this camp is benefiting the teachers and students, it can also encourage the students to attend Troy University when they head off to college.
For their first time to be at Troy University, I think is significant because a lot of these kids come back and study. Throughout the 12 years we've done this, we've had 40 students that have attended this camp. They've come and done their undergrad here. And so we don't know if it's directly related, but we know that there's probably something to do with them attending this camp and getting to experience it and whatnot.
Students are excited for the camp as it will allow them to learn Chinese and explore the culture.
I'm most excited just to learn the language because I've been wanting to learn Chinese for so long. I'm Chinese American, but I don't even know the language yet. So I came here just because I wanted to learn the language so I could speak with my parents in Chinese.
The Troy Star Camp brings high school students from all over the country to Troy for that immersive cultural experience. And Maya Mitchell gives us a look into some of the activities the student campers are involved with.
Usually, John Robert Lewis Hall is all about business, but for 2 weeks during the summer, a group of high school students are not only learning the Chinese language, but getting to know the culture as well.
This is a new cultural experience for them, so this isn't something that a lot of students actually get to learn. A lot of times when you learn a language, you get to actually learn how to say things, how to write things. You don't actually get the full cultural experience. So with this camp, they tried to bring in a lot of different activities to say, all right, well, we know you're learning the language and we love that you're learning the language, but to learn a little bit more about the culture and not just hearing about it, you get to actually experience it. It's a completely different experience and they really get to enjoy what the entire culture is.
At Troy Star Summer Camp, students participate in activities that teach them cultural dances and Chinese games.
Today we learned a fan dance and we learned a Xinjiang dance. We learned how to Chinese yo-yo. We practiced speaking Chinese with our teachers, and we wrote Chinese.
For Henson, the camp is an opportunity to learn more about her mother's culture and to connect with her grandparents.
Well, my mom's side of the family is Chinese, so if I can learn a little more Chinese, it'll be really helpful, especially speaking to my grandparents.
Troy Star will continue until June 10th and finish with a ceremony where the students can share what they've learned with their families. Amaya Mitchell, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We'll take a short break, but when we return, an old-fashioned radio drama produced by Troy Theater and Dance makes its debut on the airwaves. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we offer leadership opportunities from day one. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change. Do you have what it takes to change the world?
If you store your guns properly,
so not just anyone can get to them.
I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories or scary news reports.
I won't have to hold someone's hand and shout you're gonna make it.
And I won't have to tell my kids this isn't a drill.
Please.
Please.
Please. Please.
Please.
Do it for us.
For us. Do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. If you own a firearm and are not using it, please be responsible and be sure that it's stored in a safe place. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
All last week, Troy University Department of Mathematics held a camp designed to get girls more interested in math and math-related career fields. Simon Schuessler gives us a look at some of the ways the camp made math more accessible.
The Troy University Math Department is in the middle of hosting their Girls Get Math with Data Camp, which started on Monday, June 21st and goes through Friday the 25th. The 10th through 12th grade attendees had to go through an application process to be selected for the camp. The mission of the camp is to help develop young girls' interest and confidence in math.
Well, I think that what's really good about the camp is that they're able to see real-world applications of math and see where unexpected places where it just pops up in everyday life and places that they may not have ever thought of before, and hopefully that'll get their minds thinking, okay, well, where else can it be applied, or maybe I can study this math more.
Applying math in real-world situations is something that is emphasized at the camp. The girls complete various activities and exercises designed to help them recognize real-world application.
One thing we're doing is in this session is we're looking at map colorings, and they're seeing how that they can use math to color like the different countries And so it's, you know, that nobody may not have ever thought of that before, but mathematicians did, and it's a nice application of some advanced math.
Math and sports aren't two things you'd necessarily think of together off the top of your head, but they play more of a role in your favorite league than you might think. The camp has planned a way to relate sports and math in a very unique way.
We're also going to look at some sports, like scheduling a league, like a whole season of games. We're going to use a math called graph theory to let them see how that can be used to schedule a league, which is, scheduling can be very complicated with all the different rules and everything for scheduling.
The students will also get to do some fun activities around campus and receive advice as they're heading into their next chapter of their education.
And then we're also going to have careers in math. You know, what are some sample careers that you could pursue in math? And we're also going to do some fun things as well. We're going to have some, we're going to have a campus tour on Friday, and we're also going to have some of our current students talk to them about like what college life is like.
Simon Schuessler, Troy, TrojanVision News.
2021 has been a year of adjustment for everyone, including Troy University's Department of Theater and Dance. For the first time, they collaborated with Troy Public Radio to create a production that's making its debut this weekend. Kaylee Wright gives us a look.
Due to the pandemic, the theater department did not have the opportunity to have an in-person production. In April, they recorded music and sound effects for an original radio play, Tenured Hill, that will premiere this weekend on Troy Public Radio.
We're going to be running it 3 times this weekend. This is the premiere weekend, July 4th, so we think everybody's going to be in their cars and going somewhere, be able to hear it. It's going to run Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m., Sunday from 1 to 3 p.m., and Monday night from 8 to 10 p.m.
There are 3 different signals that listeners can use to access the radio production.
We've got 89.9 WTSU, which is kind of that's our largest signal in Montgomery and Troy, and it goes over to Selma and Auburn Opelika and various parts of our coverage area there. We also are on 88.7 WRWA, which is the Dothan and the Wiregrass region, and that signal actually reaches all the way down to Panama City into Florida. And then WTJB, which is Columbus and Phoenix City, so a little over into Georgia.
You can also tune in to Troy Public Radio through a smart speaker device.
Just keep it simple.
Gassett is thrilled for Troy Public Radio to be collaborating with the theater department.
Audio is really big right now. It's really hot, and it's so exciting to have this collaboration with the Troy Theater. This is the first time that the radio station and the theater department are collaborating to do this. And it's such an amazing production to be our first. And I think when people tune in and they hear it, you're going to get so much out of it.
We're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, we'll take a look at the new community event being offered by Troy's International Arts Center. The story is right after this.
Mama. Mama. Say mama. Yeah.
I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm almost 2 now and still not responding. That's one sign of a communication disorder, and delaying treatment can affect my development.
Many parents aren't aware of the early signs of speech, language, and hearing disorders, yet early detection and treatment can improve quality of life.
Say dada.
Ugh, here we go.
Identify the signs of communication disorders.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we teach everyone to be leaders in their field. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change.
All right, I know this isn't any fun to talk about, but we should. Okay, so who's gonna do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice.
And I'll try to get the generator going without any gas.
Oh, let's not forget the cell phones, which probably won't work.
Right.
And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
Well, I think We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
Troy University's International Arts Center is giving the Troy community the opportunity to spark some creativity this summer. Deandra Larkin has the story.
Arts sparks, larks, arcs, and embarks on young minds. The IAC held a free first spark to its series for arts. From the tie-dyeing to scavenger hunts, this event is the start of something that's going to leave a mark.
I feel great about this. I thought maybe not like when I was doing it, but it's much better than I expected.
Finding something for the family to do in Troy, Alabama can be hard, but for one family, this was a perfect spark to a great start.
This is a great opportunity for kids in the community. I like the fact that it was only from 2 to 4, so it gave them a little bit of something to do. Very, very fun. We enjoyed the tie-dye. We're getting ready to go out there and feed the turtles, so this was absolutely perfect for outing on Saturday.
Events like Art Spark is another way Troy University reaches out to the Trojan community by showing it's more than just an art center.
For a free family day series that we're having called Art Spark, and these series are going to be monthly, and we are going to have an art activity that families can come in and do together. We really wanted to offer more to our community and just kind of open our doors and invite people in. Our next event is on August 7th. It's a Saturday, and we will have a similar setup from 2 to 4. We'll have another art activity, and we'll also have a story time and snack, and we look forward to that as well.
Sparking it off for the next Art Spark, I'm Deandra Larkin, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And on Wednesday, the International Arts Center welcomed the Boys and Girls Club of Pike County to the center for some of the same fun that the IAC offered the community during the weekend Art Spark event. Zeta Ingram has that story.
Wednesday at the International Arts Center, the Boys and Girls Club of Troy ignited a spark by participating in the IAC's latest series known as Art Spark.
Today we are hosting an event that's part of our Art Spark series that we've just started at the International Arts Center. And we have the Boys and Girls Club join us today, which is really exciting. They're just a fun group of kids who really enjoy creating this art.
And while the event consisted of multiple activities that were made possible with the help of Troy University students, the children enjoyed the messiest activity the most.
My favorite part was dipping it into the blue dye. It was messy, but it also is kind of fun to massage it in the water because it's nice and cold and kind of warm.
Jackson says that a major goal within the Art Spark series is to bring the community together to make something fun yet impactful. And that's exactly why there is a deeper meaning behind the series itself.
Well, for children, it's very important to have that exposure early on because art facilitates so many different parts of their lives. It's connected to academics, emotions, and it's just a wonderful resource for them to be able to do.
And it's safe to say that the goal was achieved. The young artist had an opportunity to express themselves, and while some shirts may have shared similar patterns, no two were alike.
It's really enriching that we can invite these young artists into our facility, and so it's just been real fun to see them get excited about creating their own piece of artwork that they can wear. They learn how to do something new, and then they can take it home and just keep enjoying it since we made t-shirts today.
Well, it's time for our last break, and when we return, we'll learn about a new film festival designed to highlight the work of young filmmakers. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
I was afraid of that.
Well, guess it's time to get you fixed.
Your pets will start fooling around sooner than you think.
Go on, get out of here!
Accidental litters lead to millions killed in shelters each year. Help prevent more. Fix at month 4.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
I did. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls. But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that strollers have the right of way on the sidewalk?
Yes. Yep, I did. Did you guys Did you know that kids who eat breakfast have higher GPAs?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That's actually what I was going to say.
Did you know babies should never touch silver? It's really bad for them.
I knew that.
Did you guys know that statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected.
I'm putting that on my blog.
I just put it in mine.
A new film festival is looking to bring attention to high school and college filmmakers. We'll learn more about the Yellowhammer Film Festival in this week's Trojan Talk. Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. My guest today is Chris Stagel, here to talk about the Yellowhammer Film Festival. Chris, thanks for joining us here today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, first off, the Yellowhammer Film Festival. Give us the rundown. What are we talking about here?
All right. So the Yellowhammer Film Festival is a statewide, enriching, interactive experience for Alabama college and high school students that are into filmmaking. And we have a full day of activities and events lined up. From guest speakers and workshops to an exhibition and an award ceremony as well.
And so it's a film festival, so you're talking about filmmakers, young filmmakers, high school, college. So talk about the opportunity to give these young filmmakers a chance to show their work.
Sure, yeah. I think it's invaluable for kids at that age, whether they're in high school or college, to get as much exposure as possible, right? And as we know with YouTube and Twitter and all of this, they've got that outlet. But this is a more formalized outlet, and this gets their work in front of professionals and other educators throughout the country. We've got judges that are going to basically jury their work. Some of our judges are from other institutions, such as the University of South Florida. We've got a judge from Netflix Animation Studios, Ty Primosh. And so we've got a lot of professionals, a lot of people that are in the professional industry, but also other educators that are going to be jurying this work and giving these student artists and filmmakers the opportunity to really get feedback on their work.
And of course, an opportunity to get that feedback and to win awards, obviously, is one of the things there. But putting together a film festival in a time, obviously, COVID is starting to wane a little bit, but you're going all virtual for this, right? So a lot of folks are sitting in an exhibition hall for film festivals like this.
Sure, yeah.
This exhibition hall is someone's living room, right?
We try to really leverage technology with this one. And so because COVID isn't really, we're not completely out of it just yet, we just want to be safe. And I think in the infant stages of the film festival, when we were, kind of creating it, we thought to ourselves, better to be safe than sorry. We can be on ground. We can be in person next year. This year, it's our first time around. Let's be smart about it. We'll do the whole thing remote. We're going to do it on Microsoft Teams. So everybody that signs up for the festival or the exhibition, they'll get that QR code or that link where they can jump in on July 31st. It is full day of events on July 31st. So they can join us remotely and really be a part of the exhibition and still get the feedback and hear things and see their film screened and be a part of the workshops as well.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the involvement here. We've got a website that we can go to that talks about how they can sign up for everything involved with this, especially because you're looking for entries right now too, right?
Yeah, we sure are. We still have a couple of weeks left, and anyone who's interested can go to yellowhammerfilmfest.com. And there is, on that site, there's a lot of information about all of the presenters. And then also, they can go to the exhibition form, which is about halfway down the page. And that's where they can enter into the exhibition But then they can also join the festival, and the festival is at the very top of the page, and they can kind of jump in there and register. Registration is completely free.
Okay.
So whether you're a high school or college student, even if you're a professional, you can go and you can be a part of the festival. And we have a lot of people in the community who are interested in doing just that. They want to watch and they want to learn and hear really what's going on, and that's really exciting too. But then any students that want to get involved, they can jump into the exhibition form, fill that out, and shoot in their link that way to their film.
And type of films, real quick, I know they'll find out there, but we're talking short form films. We're talking brief films, basically, for this, right?
Correct. Traditionally, yeah, short films, commercials, music videos, motion graphics, animations. We've even had people enter animated GIFs and social media videos. So any format like that, we're really interested in seeing.
And of course, this is focusing mainly on Alabama high school and college, but there's been some interest outside of the state of Alabama, right?
Yeah, it's blown up a little bit. And so we really started with an Alabama focus. And I would say primarily that the entire festival is still focused around the state of Alabama and Alabama high school and college. But we did have a lot of people submit work from outside of the state. And so we decided, hey, why not let everybody submit that wants to submit as long as they're a student and they are affiliated with another school. However, we'll have an award set aside for those films, so it'll be called the best of the rest.
The best of the rest.
So along with like best cinematography, directing, acting, producing, we'll have a best of the rest films, and that will really bring a spotlight and a focus to maybe a film outside. And then maybe next year or the year after, we decide to expand, we can really capture, you know, an international audience.
But it's good to focus on that Alabama films and stuff made here within the state, especially when you're seeing these young people who are trying to get their foot in the door and go about the filmmaking route. So.
Right, that's correct. And I feel like a lot of other states, especially where some of the films are coming from, they have a lot of their own outlets. You know, the New Yorks, the Californias. Alabama, they've got a handful of outlets, and we want to be a part of that. We want to give the Alabama students really an opportunity to shine.
Kind of expanding that opportunity. And not to mention with it being online, there's a lot of opportunities for family members and those associated with these filmmakers to be able to watch this in action.
You've got it. Nail on the head there. We've had moms and dads email us, say, hey, I want to get a festival shirt too. Can I do that? I've got 2 daughters that are entering, or I've got a son that's entering. I spoke with one kid at Publix. Him and his dad were there, and I spoke to him, and he's entering, and his dad's going to watch too.
So there you go. So anyone needs information about registration, getting involved, whatever, what can they do?
Go to yellowhammerfilmfest.com.
All right. And the film festival itself is going to be on?
July 31st, and everyone will receive a link. It's a day-long thing. And so July 31st, they can sign on. They can come and go as they please, and everyone can be involved virtually.
And is there a cutoff for entries? That's another report. Right?
July 15th.
July 15th, the cutoff for the entries.
So we still got a couple weeks.
The festival is the 31st. I want to thank you, Chris, for joining us here today, and good luck with the festival.
Thank you.
And obviously, next year when it gets bigger, we'll talk about it again.
That's right. We'll have it here.
All right. Thanks, Chris.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you. Take care.
And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk. And that's the week that was. To find out what's happening on a daily basis, you can tune into Troy TrojanVision News at 5, 6:30, and 10:30 Monday through Thursday, or you can visit us anytime on the Troy TrojanVision News blog at today.troy.edu/TrojanVision to see online content from Troy TrojanVision News. Until next, have a good week.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we teach everyone to be leaders in their field. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change.